This week's Lokar Car Show, we're in one of our favorite cities, Chattanooga, also known as the Scenic City. Welcome to the Chattanooga Cruise In.
Hey, Corky Coker here. Welcome to the 8th annual Chattanooga Cruise In here at the world-famous headquarters of Coker Tire Company and Honest Charley Speed Shop. This year we have about 1,500 cars, maybe 10,000 people, as far as the eye can see, from the Trade Center here at Hamilton County all the way to the stadium and First Tennessee Pavilion. People everywhere, cars everywhere, lots of food trucks. People have smiles on their faces. Wonderful opportunity to have fun with your family. It's a wonderful event. Come to the Chattanooga Cruise In next year, 1st of April. We'd love to have you here.
Brian Strickland's been an import guy his whole life. So when he bought this 2008 Corvette Z06 5 months ago, he jokingly said that he'd gone over to the dark side.
I've always started out back in the days drag racing Hondas, and then I've been a big Nissan guy my whole life, and decided it was time. I wanted some horsepower. Got tired of the little four bangers with the turbos, so and now I'm sold forever. So we're probably gonna put some nitrous on it. I've got a lot of pieces that are coming together. Carbon fiber front, carbon fiber rear. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna change it up as much as I can. Happy with it right now, so just rolling with it like it is.
This owner bought his 1958 Chevy Impala 5 years ago. He said it needed some work then, but just look at it now.
Well, I had one when I was a kid. I was 19 years old, and I kept it for about 6 years, and then I sold it. And I always wanted another one, but they were so expensive, and finally I just bit the bullet and bought this one, and that was it. I took the 348 out because I was having a lot of problems with it, and I put an LS1 in here with a mild cam and a 4L60E automatic transmission. And now I could drive this thing cross country if I wanted to. And it's running real good right now. It's an excellent car. I kept the outside 100% stock, and the inside, it's all factory stock. Just the change was the engine on it. Tires and everything's original. And I had it for about 5 years or so, give or take. The way you see it now, I'm just gonna leave it just like that. It runs good, it's eye candy, and everybody loves the car, and I'm just gonna keep it just like it is.
After losing his car during Hurricane Katrina, Bob Gallaty replaced it with this 1956 Ford Sunliner.
After we moved from Katrina, I moved to Houston, and I started looking for a convertible, and I found they're not that easy to find. I was fortunate enough to find one in Alabama, and when I got this car, it had nothing. No chrome, no windows, no tires. I mean, it had tires, but they were no good. So anyway, the whole car had to be redone. The only thing it had was the engine and transmission was supposedly rebuilt, which it runs fine, so I guess it was. We love the car. We've had a lot of fun with it, and that's about. I changed the color of the car also. I painted it the color it is now, but yeah, we love the car. So yeah, and people say, why don't people drive these cars? Well, because they'll deteriorate. Just like your car you drive every day. Jay Leno has like tons of cars, and he drives them, and when they get down to from 100% restored to 90%, when they lose 10%, he gives it back to his crew, and they bring it back up. So you can't keep driving them if you want them to look, if you want them to bring them to shows. And it won't have the effect it does, when they're in pristine condition.
We'll be right back with more amazing cars on the Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group. The Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group, is brought to you by Heart of Appalachia. Virginia is for lovers. Original Parts Group. World-class restoration parts, Brothers Truck Parts, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GM truck restoration. Lokar, quality, plain and simple. This 1955 Chevy Bel Air was in pieces when Billy McDaniel got it, so he put it back together with brand new parts.
Put everything in it new. It's got new wiring, new windows, new interior. Everything under it's new. It's been frame off. It's just a real nice car. I wouldn't change nothing on the car. It's just a beautiful car. And the only thing I have changed since I built it, I changed the rear end in it. I put a disc brake rear end in it, so it's got 4-wheel disc brakes. It's just all around good driver, beautiful car, beautiful car. Yes, I drive it on the weekends, sometimes through the week. That's why I got regular tags on it, so I can drive it through the week. We drive it everywhere. I put probably 1,200 and something miles on it since I've had it. It's just a real beautiful car. And you can drive it anywhere as you need to, and it's just, we'll probably take it to Pigeon Forge maybe, I don't know. I know we're gonna go to Somerset this year with it, and we just enjoy driving it. We enjoy everything about it.
Robert Soule says he thoroughly enjoys driving his '37 Chrysler Custom Imperial because it's such a sweet ride.
It has jump seats in it to carry extra passengers, and it'll seat up to 8 passengers. Purchased the car about 5 or 6 years ago, and really just drive it. It's just been a good driver, and we've driven it pretty extensively. Don't mind getting it out and taking it on a 150-mile drive anytime, weather permitting generally. Really haven't done a whole lot of work to it. The interior's completely original. Probably 50% of the paint on the car is original. It's a mostly unrestored car as you see it. It shows about 75,000 miles on the odometer, and I believe that to be correct. It's a pretty rare car. They only made about 850 of them. Dual side mounts are even more rare than that. It's a unique car. Has overdrive transmission, so you can drive the car down the interstate at 70 miles an hour all day long. It does just fine. It's a real pleasure. Yeah, I'm pretty much Chrysler through and through. Been collecting Chrysler products since I was 16 years old. Probably owned 300 plus cars over all that time. And yeah, it's a really stupid hobby, but
This '72 Ford pickup is the very first vehicle Todd Crow owned. He bought it from his father, and he's still thrilled to have it today.
Got into cars through some friends of mine and just had to have a big tired hot rod, and I said that's where all my money goes, I guess, so I enjoy it more than anything. I had it for, I guess, my whole life, I guess. That's the first vehicle I ever owned. Yeah, Daddy sold it to me for $1,500, and he told me, he said, it's $100 a month. You miss one payment, he said, you're walking. And he wasn't kidding. It was an ugly old brown and white truck. It was just the hubcaps and all. I drove to school. Probably my first dates in that truck, everything. I mean, I went everywhere in it, did everything in it. I mean, we lived in them old things back then. Well, I didn't paint it, but we did a lot of, I've had several people with, you learn as you go. When I started, I didn't know anything. And friends of mine helped me, and we sit down and got it lowered and got it fixed up. And over years, you look at other things and learn. And eventually you find something, how you want it. I like Pro Street hot rods, lowered with big tires, and that's the only way it's ever gonna look.
It's time for Lokar Lowdown with Kevin Ford.
Hey guys, by now you've probably heard of Clayton Machine Works. Lokar was able to purchase Clayton Machine Works last year, and we're really excited about the new products that we've been working together with the two companies and the styles. And one of those things is an automatic transmission shifter. I know Lokar's known for their shifter with their safety button lockout and everything like that. We love it. It's still a great product, but there's a demand, especially with all the hype around 5 speeds and 4 speeds. And what we did was we came up with a side shift type shifter where you're gonna move the shifter side to side for the lock, call it a gate shifter. What this does is it's allowed us to put Tremec levers or of any type you want. I mean, you can purchase one of the Clayton Machine Works levers, a Lokar lever, or if you have a favorite lever from an old Hurst or something like that, it's going to mount to this and it's going to operate perfectly. We also offer this with a standard type round lever. It's a 5/8 round lever, so if you have anything fancy you want to put on there, this will achieve it. We've got a patent pending on this technology, and it's basically a swedged fitting. You can see here, it locks it down. You can index it, you can change the lever. It comes with a variety of knobs and options and colors. To find out more, come see us at a show. You can find the Clayton products wherever Lokar is, or you can go to claytonmachine.com and check everything out.
Welcome back to the Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group. John Irvin was always into old cars, and he really wanted a '57 Chevy. So when the opportunity popped up, he didn't hesitate to buy this 1957 Chevy Bel Air 4-door station wagon.
I know I've always been into old cars, and I always wanted a '57 Chevy. Don't tell my Chevy guys, my Chevy friends, but I used to build old Mustangs before this. But I always had a hankering for a '57 Chevy, and finally stumbled into this one. It was out in Arizona, but I had it shipped in here to Chattanooga, and been working on it for about 4 years. So I had got it painted, got some interior in it, and motor, transmission, rear end is all modern underneath. So I can drive it, built it to drive. And liked it so much I bought another one. I got another one I'm working on right now. Well, we're going to be doing more custom work to it. It's going to stray a little bit more from the standard wagon. Got some Kragers coming for it. Going to be putting a belt line on the back door. Got some special headlight treatments I'm going to be doing to it. Working on those right now. So it's going to be more of a hot rod by the time I get through with it. And like I say, we'll make the other wagon more of a standard wagon. My first car was a '66 GT Fastback Mustang, and did everything I could do with Mustangs, and kind of got away from cars for a little while. But even back then, I like all the cars, all the old cars. But I always wanted a '57, and finally got in a situation where I could get one, and looked at the 2-doors first, but then I decided I wanted something a little different, something you don't see every day, and got the idea for a 4-door wagon. It took me a little while to find one, but they're not as rare as I thought they were, but not as many of them out there. Of course, they cut them up and use them to keep the 2-doors going. But there's still a few Bel Air wagons still out there, 4-door wagons.
So far, Tim Quinn has restored this 1969 orange Z28 4 times since he bought it at age 18.
When I bought it, it was a really, needed a lot of work and everything. So it's got all new fenders and sheet metal and everything on it, and it's the DZ302 motor that's in it, the original matching number car. And so like I say, I've done a lot of restoration on it, and just finished it about a year ago. This go around, I've kind of done it this last time, the way that I would want it and everything. So I've put 4-wheel disc brakes on it, and rack and pinion steering and stuff like that, and to make it really good and drivable. The rack and pinion steering helped on it more than anything to do that. But it's a real good driving car. I really enjoy it, and I take it to a lot of shows like this and stuff, and it does pretty well.
Larnell Moon has owned this 1930 Model A Ford for 25 years and has given it a complete restoration.
Well, I've had it probably over 25 years, and when I bought it, it was just a cab. It had a Camaro rim under the rear. It had a straight axle up under the front. So now it has a 86 Corvette rim up under the back, and then it's rack and pinion up under the front now. And it's pulling a 355 Chevrolet engine, 350. From the transmission all the way back to the rim, it came out of a Corvette, 86 Corvette. And so I just put that engine in it. It doesn't even have 50 miles on it. And so I've been driving it for a pretty good while. I've been had the car for a pretty good while. and I like driving. I like going to car shows, and I just like to see the reaction of people's faces when they see it.
Original Parts Group Incorporated Restoration Tip.
Here at Original Parts Group, we've got an awesome collection of GM classic cars. Not only muscle cars, but luxury as well, as you can tell from the 63 Cadillac Coupe de Ville behind me. We manufacture and sell step plates for Cadillacs from 1959 through 1978. Our newest line is 1965 through 1970 step plates that we've got here. Now, these are manufactured out of precision stamped, high-grade aluminum, highly polished, as you can see. They include the correct holes drilled for the mounting and include the correct Cadillac emblem for each year. As you can see, we've got the correct ribbing in here, which is also correct from 65 to 1970. We also carry the complete set of mounting screws. So these would be a perfect addition to your freshly restored Cadillac. You don't want to get into that car and find scratched step plates. These are a perfect addition to make your car look showroom new. You can order these at opgi.com or order one of our free full-color catalogs today.
We'll be right back with more amazing cars on the Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group. The Lokar Car Show, presented by Original Parts Group, has been brought to you by Rod End Supply. We don't just sell them, we race them. H&M Saw, the saw that cuts straight. McKee's 37, complete auto and RV care. Advertising Edge, the official uniform of the NHRA. Jeff Childers says he traded his first vehicle for this 1964 Buick Wildcat, and he registered it just yesterday.
So I've had the car about a year. I needed something to haul. I got 3 kids, so my truck was standard cab and doesn't haul 3 kids very well, my wife. So I wanted a classic car that would haul 4 to 5 of us. And so I had a 62 Impala before this, but I sold it and I wanted something else. So I found this thing. It was on Craigslist, and just as you see is how I saw on Craigslist, and I fell in love with it. It's a great car, rides like a dream, and gets on down the interstate pretty good. I'm really happy with it. So I bought it so I did not have to wash it. I do wash it, I don't wax it.
Traveling to car shows and around town in his 1964 Cadillac Coupe de Ville is something Lee Pryor loves to do with his family.
My name is Lee Pryor. This is my 1964 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. It's a 75,000 original mile car. It was one owner before I got it. I've had it about 5 or 6 years. We drive it quite regular, shows. It's got disc brakes, airbags on it. Just a good cruising, fun car. This is the 3rd time we've been to this show. Each year it seems to get bigger and better. Had a good turnout today. We enjoyed it. Got here early. Seen a lot of nice cars. Fixing to make a 100-mile road trip back home. Pretty good ride. Rides good, rides great, rides like a Cadillac.
His uncle owned this 1952 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe for 35 years before Donnie McDaniel got started on its restoration.
My car is a 1952 Chevrolet Styleline Deluxe. This car was owned by my uncle for at least 35 years, and he kept it inside so it had no rust. And I started the project about 15 years ago, but in the process got sick. And I had a good friend, his name was Danny Wiley, who came to my house and got in my car, and it was a frame-off restoration. So he took the car and the frame to his house and shop and worked on it along with some other guys, street rodders, for about a year. I'm not talking about just a little bit of work. I'm talking about 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. And so there is a true friend there. That still exists today. This car means a lot to me, of course, sentimental value, and I hope that it will stay in my family. I painted this car a PPG color. It's called Money Green. And green's always been my favorite color, so I always said if I ever built one, I was going to paint it green. And I've enjoyed it, had a lot of fun. I have a 350 small block Chevy in it. put a thumper cam in it. But we've had a lot of fun. Been a lot of exciting days.
This week's winner of the Lokar Car Show's Pick of the Show Award, presented by McKee's 37, is Russell Guy and his beautiful 51 Cadillac Coupe.
So the car's a 51 Caddy. I bought it with 79,000 miles 19 years ago. It's still the same paint and everything. I've not done anything like that other than modify the drivetrain and lower it and wheels and interior. All that's been done. It's looked like that for the last 18 years. But it was just a good old car that I just, lucked up on and just drove the wheels off of. But it's got late model Chevy motor and stuff in it, and stock front suspension. I just lowered it all the way around. Had them wheels made, Colorado custom. My best friend that passed away, he done the interior like 18 years ago. It's held up really well. I drive the wheels off of it. That's what it's all about. I've not changed really anything other than upgrade the brakes and added air conditioning finally 2 years ago. But that's the car, that's looked like that for about the last 18 years. Paint, interior, I've never painted it, but interior and wheels, I've had it that way for 18 years now. I've probably rubbed the paint off of it a lot, but whatever. But yeah, just drive it, get it dirty, and clean it and drive it some more. That's what it's all about.
That's all for this week's Lokar Car Show. Tune in next week as we travel just a little further down south to Georgia for Atlanta Speedway's Motorama.